Let's just talk about reels all the time.
All of the reels.
All of the reels, you know?
Hi, I'm Enza. Welcome to Canvasations. Today, I'm talking to Nia about producing engaging video content for your brand. So welcome, Nia. I'd like to find out about your journey. So can you tell us exactly what your business does?
Yeah, so my business is social media agency. We are a creative agency that assists women-owned businesses with really creating on-brand and unique content for their brand on social media. It's not about being cookie cutter. It's not about being, something that you can't spot out of the herd. Realistically, the people that I work with, the women that I work with are women who have bigger visions for their current brand right now. And for me, I'm really all about empowering them in whatever aspect that they need me to, but specifically with social media, specifically with content strategies, specifically with how they show up on video, and of course, making sure that they feel confident in other areas of their business.
That's awesome. How lucky are we to have such amazing women in our lives? But also, how lucky are people to have someone like you in their life that they can look up to and have as a mentor? I think that's really lovely.
Yeah, it feels good. It's kind of crazy because I feel like I'm really young, and a lot of the women that I mentor are older than me, but it's all just, again, an amazing experience. They look to me as somebody who's this Gen Z TikToker. It's tell me all the cool things. And I'm just give me all the wisdom. You know all the things. So yeah.
That's awesome. It definitely works both ways then.
Definitely.
So let's start with the big question. So I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think video should play as part of your content strategy?
Shocker, 10. I think it's super important for you to at least be comfortable on video enough to show up maybe once or twice. Obviously, the goal is to do it more than that. But I think people are really looking for real people behind the screen. So much of social media is about putting out a certain perception out there. And you're really in control of the message that you put out for people. And people love the graphics, people love the copy, they love the captions, they love all of that. But there's just something about video that takes it over the edge and makes people feel like you're really invested and makes them even feel like they know you. I can't tell you how many people who jump on a call with me who feel like they already get a gist of who I am just because of all the videos and the stories and the highlights and stuff like that they see it from me.
So with so many social media channels and so much opportunity out there, where do you even begin?
I think you got to figure out exactly where do you want to fit in the space. And I even say to take the guesswork out of it. If you're already active on Instagram and you know what's working for you, especially when you look into your insights, you look into your analytics, and this is in pretty much any platform, right? Any platform, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, all of them, they have some sort of analytic platform. Look to see what type of content people are really gravitating towards, and then say to yourself, okay, maybe I can create a video about this and see how it does. Ask your audience essentially what they want to see, and then create a video on top of that and say, okay, well, I made this video specifically for you guys because you told me that you need help with this. And what it does, it lets your audience know that you're actually listening, which is I would say the number one thing that you really need to take into is that you're not really creating this content for yourself per se, you're really creating it for your community.
And when you're creating content, do you try to copy and paste content as you go and repurpose it? Or do you create specific videos for each platform?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think repurposing is probably the easiest thing that you can do, especially looking to see what content has done really well. But I also think it's important to come up with new, fresh ideas.
Do you have any tips on coming up with fresh ideas for video content?
Yeah, I think when it comes down to those fresh ideas, again, you really have to look at what is trending, but not to exactly do what is trending. So let me break that down even more. I'm also a really big proponent in just because something's new and exciting doesn't mean you necessarily have to come out with something right away. You got to break it down for your audience. And this is where it goes back to, again, understanding your audience and checking in with them, because those are the people that are going to be consuming your content. Those are the people that are going to be commenting. And then of course, looking to you for as much expertise. So those video ideas, I definitely say come from what's trending, what's happening, what is everybody talking about, but putting your own spin on it and making sure that you are tailoring it for your audience and that they're actually gonna, pay attention to at the end of the day.
What about some advice? When you're trying to tailor content and you're trying to cater to each platform. Do you have any tips for us on how we might be able to do that in an easier way?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to, again, how do you want to show up? Like, how do you want your videos to be presented? If somebody's seeing this content for the first time, what do you want that impression to be? And so, for example, if you're putting content, let's just say videos on your feed, you want to make sure that, of course, that it matches with the aesthetic of your actual grid, that nothing looks out of place. Maybe, again, you're adding in captions because a lot of people are seeing this content for the first time. Maybe they're seeing it with the sound off. So you want to make sure that they can still engage with it, making sure, of course, that you've got a really nice caption, you've got your hashtag, so on and so forth. With your stories, it's a completely different experience because, again, stories is about relatable content. It's not very structured. It doesn't have to be polished. When you are tailoring your content per each platform, per each format, make sure that you size your videos correctly. I can't tell you how many times I see it where I'll see like a video that was meant for the feed, let's just say that's that square, and I see it in the stories. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think, again, it's how you want the experience to be. When we look in stories, we're looking to see full on. Same thing when we're looking at IGTV, we're looking to see very full on. We don't want to see anything that's kind of cropped weirdly or, of course, doesn't necessarily fit that format, let's just say.
How important is it for you to reflect your brand in your content?
I think it's super important. I think my brand is fun. I think my brand is creative. I think it's something that makes you want to stop and either laugh or shake your head or be like, yes, like Nia, got some right points. And so for me, that's what I really want people to see when they see my content and my business all together.
So what business goals do you think video has helped you and your business achieve that you wouldn't have otherwise?
I think it's really allowed me to put myself in front of people who I probably would never have been able to meet. And now that I've been able to show up on Instagram, like I'm meeting people, I have friends in New York, I've got people in South Africa, I've got people who are seeing me and seeing me in my, myself, they've seen me in this emoji shirt, they've seen me all done up, they've seen me without the makeup. So I think even like on the business side of thing, I think it really allows people to get a gist of who I am.
So Nia, you definitely have a flair for being on the screen. Have you always been a natural in front of the camera?
You know what? I will say confidently yes, because I do have a YouTube. Don't find me. I do have a YouTube channel, and I was back in, I think, 2011, maybe 2012. I remember like YouTube was just becoming like a very popular thing in the sense of like influencers were starting to become a thing. And I remember thinking to myself, ooh, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to get into that world because I'm very, exaggerative. I want to be able to like give my commentary, give my 2 cents.
What about if you're not a natural and you really struggle to be in front of the camera? How can you build confidence?
Yeah, a lot of that comes from your ability just to kind of put yourself out there, regardless if you think that the video content that you put out is the most perfect thing in the world. That's another thing I feel like our generation even struggles with, that thing of perfectionism and wanting everything to be like perfect. And not every piece of content is going to be perfect. And I think when it comes down to you having that level of confidence, don't worry about being perfect.
So just before we finish up today, I do want to start with a bit of a quick fire round. Are you ready? Okay, let's do it. So what's one thing you couldn't live without?
My phone.
What's your favorite app?
Instagram.
Reels or TikTok?
TikTok.
Stories or IGTV?
Stories.
Filter or no filter?
Filter.
Your favorite Canva feature?
The background remover tool.
How good is it?
So good.
Portrait or landscape?
Portrait.
Your favorite movie of all time?
Toy Story.
Someone that inspires you?
I'm just going to say my mom.
And something that you're really proud of?
I'm really proud of my ability to get up every single day and like still have the same gusto to like keep going.
Perfect. Thank you. So it's almost time for us to wrap up, Nia. If you could give one message to our community, what would it be?
I think when it comes down to who you are, whether you're starting out in business, whether you've been in the game for a little bit, just know that you are in charge about how this whole thing goes down. And I want you to feel empowered by that.
And lastly, how can our community connect with you?
Yes, so the amazing community can connect with me at Social Media Agency. You can also connect with me through Instagram, through the DMs. You can definitely connect with me on my website as well, sociallysavvy.com. I highly suggest that you join the Socially Savvy membership because we've got an incredible community, tons of things happening, masterclasses, webinars, new videos, you name it. And I would absolutely love to have you.
Well, what an awesome conversation. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Enza. This has been incredible.
Thanks for joining our Canvasation. Let us know what you'd like to learn in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe so that you'll never miss an episode.